What do you think is the technology that's going to change our lives the most over the next 5 years?
Over the next 5 years, a lot of people might say artificial intelligence, but recently I've been playing with virtual reality, and I think that's going to be the winner because it just takes you into new worlds. And it's sort of like a thing that movie does to us. It has an emotional feeling that you want to be there. You want to use this, as well as it's going to be a productive way of, training and doing productive things as well.
Well, what about artificial intelligence? I mean, is that real? How close are we?
Artificial intelligence, for a long time in life, we would program a computer to do what we told it, and now with artificial intelligence, the computers start to learn, to think, to rewrite, to design their own programs. We're getting closer and closer to that, but almost all the recent advances in artificial intelligence in the last 5 years, maybe even 10 years, have been exploring neural networks and things where the computers can get smarter than a human could have ever programmed them to be. And that's great because they'll be able to help us with more and more of the things that we want to get done as humans.
Are you worried that, AI could go bad, that bad robots could turn on us?
For about 3 years, I was worried it would go bad, and then other people like Elon Musk and Stephen Hawking came out talking that way, and I thought they are thinking the same way I am. Once the machines think for themselves, they could go off and say, we don't need the humans, just like her. We got 50,000 conversations with computers. We're better than humans. And then I reversed. I came up with a lot of reasons why it won't happen. They won't be able, not very many computers will be able to get as smart as people, real consciousness very fast. And it would take hundreds of years to modify everything in the world that is movable infrastructure to where they could own the world themselves without humans. And so they're going to be a partnership. We're building this equipment to help us, and they're going to be best friends to us. Isaac Asimov had a law of robotics that no robot can harm a human being, but he had it wrong because that implies they're obeying our rules. Once they're thinking for themselves, our rules don't apply anymore. So I came up with Woz's law. No human can harm a feeling robot, or no human can harm a conscious robot. Once they're really like a live being, we should not harm them because all of our own fighting and wars and conflict comes about from our fear of mortality. If a machine start to think any human beings will unplug them whenever they act their own way,
but
then they're not going to be our best friend.
How can you say that a machine could have consciousness or could have a feeling?
We don't know what consciousness is yet. We don't know how the brain is wired. We stumbled onto parts of the brain by accident. Look at this. Did we ever invent computers to replace the brain? No, to do a few tasks for us. Did we invent the internet to replace the brain? Did we, eventually we needed search engines, and you used to ask a smart person a deep question, and now who do you ask? It starts with G-O, and it's not God. So we wound up by accident stumbling onto parts of the brain, assembling information and processing it. We haven't got to full consciousness where a machine has feelings and acts like it has feelings, but I think we're going to stumble onto that by accident because we're getting closer and closer. I expect that there's going to be a time that you're talking to a machine that knows your heart and soul. Everything's important in your life better than any human does.
How about here at Comic-Con? What's the message you hope to get across in your speech tomorrow?
Well, the biggest message, I'm not giving a full speech at Comic-Con. I'm going to be part of an introduction to the show. I want a full speech. I have it in my head, and it all starts out with the importance of geeks. The sort of people that go to this Comic-Con type show are really kind of, in a way, they're geeks. They're like the way I grew up. We're outsiders. We're doing things that aren't a normal part of society. This didn't exist in the past, but it's the things that we've come to love, and there are people that love it like us. So it's a great event. It's like going to a major concert and seeing thousands of people there, and they're all love the same music and the same group.
From your perspective, what is your opinion? Why shouldn't Apple help the government unlock the phone?
I'm proud of my company. Here's a company that actually sets out to build good products the right way, not lie to consumers, tell them what they're getting. And it actually said, we are going to hire some of the best people in the world for cybersecurity, which is one of the horrible issues and threats to our lives these days. And we made a good, secure product, and now the government, if they can come in and tell us, now you have to unsecure it, make it insecure, they could go into any company and say, here's how you have to build your products. I'm sorry, engineers coming up with ideas should choose for themselves what they're going to build. And there's a right and a wrongness on civil liberties. I'm not even talking about that. I was a network administrator for many years, supplying the internet to schools in my town and things like that. And whenever anyone, anywhere started typing a password, I turn my head the other way. And you'll see that system and network administrators, good ones, they know that it's important to respect everything right down to passwords. You don't mess with that. Secondly, people who want to hide something they're doing in their communications can get encryption programs anywhere. Edward Snowden would tell you that. And so it's not in the phone that it encrypts their communications. Secondly, this case with the FBI is a very lame case where the phones of the people got destroyed, but Verizon turned over every phone call they'd made, every contact they'd made, every text message, and what was in the text message. So they know that they haven't got any contact with a terrorist group. They're trying to link them to terrorist groups, and they failed. But they're just trying really to come in and get power over companies forever, where they can just go in and say, you have to build products with certain back doors for us. Well, what if the Chinese do that and say every single iPhone that your government officials use has to be have a back door for us Chinese to peek into?
You know, but what if there is something on that phone that could help possibly prevent another terrorist attack? How do you reconcile that with your views on civil liberties?
What ifs is not the way to think about life. All the Bill of Rights was against the what ifs. It said you had the Fourth Amendment, you have to have some good, strong evidence of what you'll find and that it's really going on there before you can penetrate it. And not a what if. Oh, there might be something. You might have something on your phone that leads to a terrorist cell. You'll give me your phone, right, and I'll give you the money to buy a fresh one, but I'll have your password for a couple of days just so I can look at it. You would never do that. Nobody would. Everybody who says I have nothing to hide would never do that.
But aside from technology, in the real world, when authorities have probable cause, they can go get a warrant and then they can go and search through all your stuff in your house. Why is it different on your phone?
Because if you give them infinite power, a lot more than probable cause. I pointed out a lot of reasons why this was weak. That they had all the communications that those people had done, and they aren't convicted terrorists anyway.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and then click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.